Well, my journey to UCI, or my start in athletics, uh, my dad was always a swim coach. So I was born in Dallas. I followed him around to a couple of different destinations, but I was always in the pool my entire life. I didn't get the opportunity to play soccer or some of the other sports when I was younger because my dad guided me to the pool. After Dallas, I moved to Wisconsin. I lived in Wisconsin for about 3 years. And then finally, he took a job in Fresno for Clovis Swim Club, and we settled there. I grew up in Fresno. Went to Clovis West High School. I had a career there in both swimming and water polo. I actually played baseball as well, and I was a pretty decent catcher. I was an awful hitter, so I decided to go away from that sport. But I played all the way through my sophomore year because I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing something different besides being in the water all the time. And when I was getting recruited out of Clovis West, I had limited opportunities. As you know, Coach Newland was here at the time, kind of a legendary coach. My only thought was to go to college and try to have that opportunity just to play sports in college, period. I didn't have any thought beyond that at that point in time. I was still both swimming and playing water polo. So when I had a school that actually would allow me to do both at the same time on my radar, and I didn't know much about Coach Newland, but he had coached for so long that my dad had actually played water polo while Coach Newland was playing, and saw him as legendary and saw it as a really good opportunity for me. My development in high school wasn't great. That's why my recruiting wasn't high, but my talent was there, and so it was a great place for me to go to develop. Obviously, when I got here, I loved it, and I made this my home. I've lived now in Irvine and this area for longer than I've lived anywhere else in my entire life. Everyone still wonders when I'm going to come back home to Fresno, and the answer is the same: never. Stayed around here. The national team trains here, which is really fortunate for me. I had an opportunity to play on the national team and be a part of the Olympic team in 2004. Someone who currently works for you that you said is retiring, Patrina Long, hired me to come back. I was doing some coaching at the time at Foothill High School. We had a really successful run of 4 years winning CIF. So at that level, I was probably one of the more highly touted coaches, and Patrina talked me into applying for the job here at UCI, and when I wasn't really sure whether I wanted to continue playing or start coaching, and ended up back here, and I've been back here ever since. And I'm glad for it. So I didn't have quite the professional roundabout to athletics that you did. I kind of stayed with what I was comfortable with and stayed in my world. But it brought me back home, and I'm certainly excited to be here.